I don't know.
See with South Oldham?
I don't know, dude. I just sat there and told you I don't know. Pray out loud. That is the message here today from the Belfry Pirates as they take on the South Oldham Dragons. William Warfield here with you. Bryan Station High School decided the Division II 8th grade state championship. Darren Douglas, you're going to have the play-by-play today. What are your thoughts on this one?
This one could be an interesting ball game. I look forward to this one. When it was decided yesterday morning after the first two semifinal games here in Lexington. It is a beautiful day here in central Kentucky, sun shining. Also, there is a slight overcast look to the day. We do have the sun peeking out from behind the clouds, and I think this could be a game where we have very many points scored in it. I think both South Oldham and Belfry are going to be able to put the points on the board, although I look forward to seeing who actually defense steps up and makes a couple plays or gets a couple of takeaways here in this ball game. It'll be South Oldham and Belfry in game number 1 of the 4 that we have here today for the state championships. This is the 8th grade Division II state championship game. Belfry looking for 4 in a row. South Oldham looking for their first state title at the middle school level in their very first appearance here in the Kentucky Middle School State Football Association state playoffs, William. And I look forward to it. I mean, I really think this one's going to be a good one. More crowd here for South Oldham. Of course, they're just on the other side of Louisville. Belfry, maybe 4 hours away, but guess what? They will definitely have more people here than they had yesterday.
Well, you already see the stands across the way starting to fill up there with Belfry Pirate fans. And then, of course, over here on our side, you can't really see it on your screen, but there's a lot of South Oldham fans here as well. We probably got probably close to 1,500 to 2,000 people, I would say, here already this morning to pay, respect to both teams. I mean, and both teams have earned that respect, and we're going to see it all battled out on the football field today for the state championship. Now, here's the key. Will Belfry, the Pirates, will they be Dragon Slayers today? Or will the Dragons eat the Pirates? We're going to find out. Folks, it's all coming up here for you next. You're watching it live here on PrepSpin.com. Get your tweets in at PrepSpin. We'll get those on the air today. Again, get your tweets in, and we'll interact with you, the fans, back at home, watching wherever you may be. Take pictures of how you're watching and send those to us through Twitter as well. And make sure to use our hashtag there on our scoreboard. The hashtag is WGMOrtho. We'll return here from Bryan Station High School in just minutes, folks. We're going to have kickoff in about 3.5 minutes from now. You're watching the Division II Middle School State Championship right here on PrepSpin.com.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter. Locally owned and operated since 1972.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's is a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Welcome back here to Bryan Station High School. William Warfield here with you alongside my tag team partners today, Aaron Rose, who's producing today's game for us, and then also the play-by-play guy for today's game, Double D, Darren Douglas. And Darren, we got a good matchup again. We mentioned that before as they put some more time up on the clock, so I guess both teams need a little bit more time to warm up here. But this game's got, exciting written all over it as both teams high-powered offense. And I really like, I like both team styles, Darren. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, yesterday we saw Belfry in the early game at 8 o'clock in the morning to get things underway. Looked very convincing in their win over Taylor County. Taylor making their first ever appearance in the state Final Four here. And the Pirates showed that they had been here before, not only the coaching staff, but some of these players as 7th graders a year ago. Belfry won that one very easily, 44-0. But then South Oldham in their fair here has made it to the state championship game. They knocked off TK Stone out of Elizabethtown 30-6. Running game is concerned. But for South Oldham, Keaton Martin, he'll wear number 5. He'll play on the he'll be the running back, but also be an inside linebacker for the Dragons. Yesterday, Martin had 9 carries, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 78. He averaged 21.8 yards per carry. He is just a young man who runs very hard. He won't wow you with his speed, but he will make plays out of the backfield. For Belfry yesterday, they had Peyton Hensley, who rushed for 104 yards on 4 carries. He had a touchdown. His longest carry of the afternoon was 81 yards for a 26-yard average. But listen to this. He's not the only guy who is dangerous for Belfry. He is the number 1 guy to watch. Ben Bentley had 6 carries for 66 yards in a score. Francis had 4 for 54. And Doug E. Dillon had 2 for 34 in a score. So if you start keying in on Hensley for Belfry, you're making a mistake if you're South Oldham. But it all starts in the running game with the quarterback, however, Seth Mounts. He only threw 1 pass for 18 yards, but it did go for a score. So Belfry a little more balanced. Martin is the key for South Oldham. But remember, Hensley, who wears, I think, number 34 for Belfry, and number 5, Keaton Martin for South Oldham. That's going to be the key offensively for both teams. But really be looking for more out of Belfry from a bevy of running backs they have out of Wishbone.
Yeah, and you talk about those running backs that Belfry has. Hensley comes to mind. He had a big game yesterday, Darren Douglas. And what does he have to do today to get past this line, this defensive line from South Oldham, who seemed to be pretty good yesterday?
Well, the guys that are going to be, we're getting the national anthem. So you want to take a break?
No, we'll keep it here.
Keep right here with the national anthem.
We'll just tune into it.
Okay.
our fans watching back at home won't be able to hear the national. We don't have a field mic down there, but Darren, we can continue to talk here to our fans that are watching back home. And looks like we got about 7 minutes before they're going to get this one underway. I imagine there's going to be some introductions and things like that. That reason why they put more time up on the clock. But please, folks, tweet us today. We'd love to get your interaction. South Oldham fans, we hope to hear from you as well. But Belfry, I know they'll be tweeting.
Oh yeah,
they'll be tweeting today. The topic, as always, during the middle school state football tournament. I think it's our almost a ritual for Darren and I to get ready for Thanksgiving, and especially on Championship Sunday here, where we talk food and football.
Yep. Well, for 30 years I've been doing this job, William, and the three things that you always do as a broadcaster is you find out where your broadcast position is, you find out where the restroom is, and then you find out where the food is. If it's a hospitality tent, tailgate, concession stand, and you do that. So those are the three things. But I want to find out. I mean, I never got an answer yesterday on the best breakfast casserole recipes out there. And I would love to get some today. I missed hearing from some of my Belfry friends from a year ago. I mean, they were texting everything from cabbage rolls
let me tell you something.
Homemade cinnamon rolls and everything else.
You're talking about the recipe. Buddy, you need to get on Pinterest.
I need to get
let me tell you, my wife showed me that, and there's all kinds of recipes on there. And you talk about those breakfast casseroles.
I know, but nothing more though than homemade food.
Anything you want on there.
Nothing better than homemade food. I got, and
I'm sure half of those recipes came from the Belfry Pirate fans out there.
Possibly. But William, I'm really looking forward to this. As you hear the South Oldham faithful below us here with the cowbells, I feel like I'm in Starkville, Mississippi.
Man, cowbells, and they got horse whistles and everything.
Yeah, I got a siren over here somewhere. I heard that a minute ago again, the air raid siren. So this one's going to be a good one. South Oldham dressed in their all familiar. They call it Kelly green, but I call it the billiard green. If you know the brand new pool tables you get out, it's this color of felt on it, and then you have there's the familiar silver helmets they used to wear back in the day. And I'm going to throw a name out at you, William, and I don't know if you remember him, but Donnell Gordon, the first true, really good running back to come through South Oldham High School. I saw him play about 7 times in his high school career, up close and personal from a press box. So they've gone to that old look here at the middle school, and then there's Belfry. And the familiar red and white with the white helmets, the skull and crossbones on the side of the helmets. They wear exactly what the high school wears, and this is going to be fun today. I think South Oldham and the Belfry Pirates teams are going to really lay it on the line here. And we have a very nice crowd from both schools, very well represented, and both crowds are very vocal here in the early going.
They are. I mean, this is a great atmosphere here today. I mean, these teams have played, all season long trying to earn their way here to this particular day, and everything's on the line. Unfortunately, one team's going to go home today with a loss, but the other one will take home a state championship. And they're going to have a big welcoming wherever, whether it goes back to South Oldham or whether it goes back to Belfry, the state championship trophy. But usually, the police get involved, the fire trucks and all that good stuff, and they really put on a nice parade for the state champion.
Well, from what I hear, now Pike County's a big area. From what I hear, they somehow got the state police involved. They hit the Pike County line, and that's a good 50, 60 miles from the county line to Belfry. Mm-hmm. At least that far. I'm sure it's probably a little bit further. I'm probably underestimating. So this is going to be very the air horns, the cowbell. Your headset.
Yeah, I think my level was a little bit loud. Yeah. Let's turn that down just
Maybe.
A little bit.
I could barely hear you. That's what
you can barely.
I could barely hear you during that last message.
But you got me now.
Yeah, I got you now. The captains are moving to the center of the field for Belfry. It's number 3, Ben Bentley. Number 54 is John Ashurst. I lost the last 2 numbers. Number 4 is Seth Mounts. And I can't get the young man there to the right there in the middle.
let me get this in real quick,
Okay.
because that pregame prayer that Belfry was doing over there, Darren, Tyler Williams, I believe it was his mom and dad. I got a tweet on it, and matter of fact, it says Tyler Williams' mom and dad were with them over there during that prayer. So that was a touching moment here for the Belfry Pirates.
Okay.
And again, our condolences to the family, and Belfry's playing for a purpose today.
Captains for South Oldham, number 5 is Keaton Martin. Number 2 is Trey Garrison. Number 18 is Ethan. I'm sorry, I'm giving you the wrong numbers. Anthony Pierce is number 2. Is Ethan DeBezier. So those are the 4 captains for South Oldham. Still trying to pick up the 4th captain, or actually there's 5 captains for Belfry. I think it looks like it's 65 there. William, do you see the second guy from the right, the second player from the right? That's the one I can't pick up.
The second player from the right.
From our
Belfry?
right, yeah, from our right.
Yeah, that
Does that look like 55?
Something 5.
Yeah.
55.
Ethan Wolford. That's who I couldn't pick up. So those are the captains. It looks like South Oldham has won the toss. They'll take the football. So South Oldham move left to right on your computer or television screen.
And I need to get this out. If we have any interruptions in the broadcast, just be patient. There's a lot of people here today. We're having to use a hotspot, which works off the cell phone tower. Bryan Station, unfortunately, does not have internet here, which, in my opinion, if you're going to, want to broadcast these games, you got to have wired internet in these press boxes, man. You got to have it. And they just don't have it here. So we're doing the best we can with it. I am recording a full game. So if anything happens during the broadcast where we have interruptions, I promise you we'll upload the full game later. So just so everybody knows, we got you covered.
Well, Belfry's kicking off from right to left, as I said, in the all-red uniforms with the white helmets, the skull and crossbones. Actually, they've gone to a B on the side of the helmets for Belfry. The young man kicking off for the Pirates.
And other thing is, whoever decided to put the radio crew next to our hotspot, well, I tell you what.
Yep. This has
not
been
very smart.
Loses control of it, off to Martin. He tries to get around the corner, but a nice open field tackle by number 4, Seth Mounts, who's the quarterback of the Belfry Pirates. We'll also see him in the middle school level. Most players will play both ways. Actually, it's number 6. Isaiah Birchfield on the tackle. I apologize. So Martin couldn't get around the corner after the ball had kicked off of Bednarzik's shoulder pads. And South Oldham starts at their own 18-yard line. Just underway here, the Division II 8th grade state championship game here at Bryan Station High School in Lexington. Glad you're with us.
Tweet at us and let us see how you're watching the game back at home.
They turn, pitch it back to Martin, trying to get around the right side. He does. He's up over the 20 to the 25, and he'll get over the first down marker at about the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, and his buddy Ethan Bednarzik got him a great block to get him around the corner.
Now, yeah, that's going to be key today, is those blockers up the field. But both teams got some very exciting athletes on their teams. That this offensive game today. For this particular one, this is probably the most exciting game of the day with these offensive.
Well, I will beg to differ. I think the final one, Bowling Green and Johnson County, has the potential to be one of the best ones too.
I don't see it. I think this is the main event today.
They give it off to Bednarzik. He tries to get around the corner and does eke out a yard. A tackle by number 54 for Belfry is John Ashurst, and Ashurst had a great ball game yesterday from his defensive tackle spot for. Actually, I think he's playing linebacker. It looks like he's calling defensive signals. Actually, he is a defensive end, and he was the leading tackler yesterday for Belfry.
Got a shout-out to Jonathan Stepp from Adam Stepp. And got a whole bunch of stuff coming in here.
So Bednarzik got a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Martin, the running back, behind the quarterback, Pierce. Draw play. Nothing. The interior of that defensive front for Belfry with a nice push up front, led by, getting up off the bottom of the pile. That's Ashurst again, along with number 6. Looks like, actually number 1. That is Dougie Dillon for Belfry.
Belfry's got a little bit more size up there than South Oldham does. But as far as many football players on the teams. You know, yesterday we saw a couple of schools that didn't have very many football players on the team, but it looks like both teams are pretty stacked here.
Numbers are fine. They pitch it going left is Martin. He darts inside, tries to get the corner, does a couple of yards, gets up to the 34-yard line. It'll be 4th down for South Oldham at their own 34-yard line. Give him, make it 3rd and 6. Actually, 4th and 6. And it looks like South Oldham's going for it. This is one of these situations where you see a lot of times middle school teams will go for it. I don't agree with this early in the ballgame. You do not want to give Belfry a short field.
Well, they had all these runs now. Let's see if they're going to maybe throw it here.
It looks like Martin, he is the punter, so he's in punt formation.
Could be a fake.
Going back deep is number 3, Ben Bentley for Belfry. A nice kick off the toe of Martin. It hits the 15, kicks inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and Keaton Martin hit a rocket.
That kick right there was a college kick. That was not even a high school kick. My friend, that was a college kick right there.
How about 57 yards and no return?
Wow.
Wow, unbelievable. So Belfry will start in the shadow of their own goalpost. 1st and 10 from their 9-yard line with 5:28 to play with their opening possession of the ball game. However, we have seen some explosiveness from Belfry. They can score from pretty much anywhere on the field.
That kick right there, it caught some of the lights up there. It was pretty high as well, Darren Douglas.
Well, he got the hang time, number 1, but number 2, he got it to turn over. You hear about us in the media talking about turning it over. He got it to turn over, and it really took off. Wishbone formation behind Mounts, the quarterback. They have the receiver to the right side. He turns, gives it off to the fullback. Big hole up the middle, 20, 25, and a shoestring tackle is the only thing that stopped him. Is Francis, the first carry of the game. Dominic Francis gets up to the 27-yard line, give him 18 and a 1st down for Belfry.
Francis is like a Mack truck coming in there. He just told him, you know, and I used this last year. I'm going to use it again this year. He was about to say, peace, I got to go.
Big hole. I think you or I could have run through that hole, William. A big hole right up behind the center for Belfry. Just a straight dive to the fullback out of that wishbone look. Same formation. They turn. They give it off to the deep back. This is Hensley running left. Caught from behind and dropped. Give him maybe a couple, but on the tackle was number 32.
62.
62. That was 62. I'm sorry. Tyrell Love.
Tyrell Love.
We called his name quite a bit yesterday in the semifinal game.
Wonder if he can Reggie Love.
Don't know. Gain of 2 for Hensley.
Don't know Reggie Love.
Yeah, I do.
Reggie
I know who you're referring to.
Reggie Love.
We thought he got some sleep last night,
The Nutty
but I guess
Professor.
not.
I watched that a little bit last night, actually.
2nd down and 8 for the Pirates. They moved the tight ends, or the receiver in. They're double tight with a fullback in the wishbone. I think we're going to have all sides on the nose guard. I think that's Love who jumped for South Oldham. It was. So a 5-yard penalty for offsides against South Oldham. And it brings up 2nd down and 3 now for the Dragons as the Pirates have their first series of the ball game. Double tight end, wishbone formation behind the quarterback Mounts. He gives a hard count, turns, counter play. And this is Ben Bentley, and it looked like a little bit of a mix-up as Mounts and Bentley looked like they may have collided a little bit in the backfield.
Down to 3:50 left to go here in the first quarter of play, man. This thing's moving right along. We got to see a little bit of South Oldham. Now Belfry moving the football.
Well, he got a yard, did Bentley. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Pirates of Belfry. Wishbone formation, double tight end. Mounts the quarterback. He'll turn, fake it. He's got a man wide open.
Yes, he does.
Caught at the 45, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Belfry.
He at the very end when he almost got tackled there by the shoes, he did a little bit of high step action right there, Darren Douglas, and just a smart play by the Belfry's number 5 there. Give me a name on the young
That's
fella.
actually number 6. That is Isaiah Birchfield.
Is that number 6?
Number
okay.
6, Isaiah Birchfield. And that's something you do not see Belfry do a lot at this level or at the high school level.
No, that was number 5 that caught
Was
the
that
football.
number 5? That's actually Isaac Spears.
Yeah, Isaac Spears was the young man that caught the football.
Well, they both kind of look a little, I think Birchfield's a little shorter,
Yeah.
but nonetheless.
Credit Spears on that, but that was a nice move there at the end. He had the defender catching up to him there, and he just did a little high step, changed his routine a little bit.
They give it off to Francis for the 2-point conversion, touchdown, and 2-point conversion. So with 3:19 to play in the first quarter of action of the Division II 8th grade state championship game, the Pirates draw first blood. It's Belfry 8, South Oldham nothing. Back with more on PrepSpin.com.
I'm Marcy Ansley, Executive Director at Lexington Hearing and Speech Center. We've grown into a statewide organization to help children and adults with communication disorders, both hearing and speech. Traditional Bank has been part of our team since we were in the little buildings over on Ashland. We wouldn't be in this building today if it wasn't for their support. I think what makes our banking experience unique is outstanding customer service that we get. They have become part of our family. They have become part of our finance team. Traditional Bank is passionate about what they do.
Wow, they didn't even wait for us on that one.
Well, the officials don't know that we're up here, unfortunately. It's a whole new crew. I've never seen this crew. Of the 8 games we had yesterday, we didn't see any. But Belfry tries a little moon kick, or the what they call the lob kick, and it went out of bounds. They had a shot at it and took a kick really hard to the right and went out of bounds to the 42-yard line. That's where South Oldham will start, 1st and 10. But I said to Belfry before we went to the break, William, they do not throw the ball at this level or the high school level very much, but when they do, it's usually a big play, and that's what it was for the Pirates on their opening possession.
Belfry, they went up top, over the defense, Darren, and like you said, they don't usually do that very often, but that was a heck of a play, and Spears, man, what a catch.
Yep. They pitch it out coming right here to the near side to Martin. He gets up ahead for about 6 yards. On the stop for the Pirates was Isaiah Birchfield. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. 2:57 in the first quarter. Belfry on top, 8-0. They score on their opening possession of the ball game. South Oldham got a first down but had to punt. Pierce under center. Wide receiver here to the near side. They turn. Counterplay to Biznarzik. Big hole. Over midfield, breaks the tackle at the 45 and gets to the 42-yard line.
He had a little bit of boom landing on him there and the tackle in the midsection.
Yep.
But
Biznarzik with his first carry of the day. Give him 9 yards and a first down. It'll be 1st and 10, South Oldham at the Belfry 42-yard line.
It's almost looking like Christmas out here, all this red and green.
Well, both teams wearing their home uniforms. South Oldham is the home team on the scoreboard. Pierce under center. He has Biznarzik, and I believe that's actually a new play. Actually, he carried the ball last night. This is number 88 for the South Oldham Dragons. That is Jackson Ray on the carry. He'll get ahead for a couple of yards. Yesterday in the semifinal game versus TK Stone, Ray carried the ball several times, but on my stat sheet, he's not listed in the official stats as having any yardage.
Turned out to be a beautiful day here.
So far, so good. They're not calling for any rain. They're calling for sunshine giving way, or clouds giving way to sunshine. Here's a mix-up in the backfield.
Yes, sir.
As Bednarzik, I think, was supposed to go for an inside handoff, which means the quarterback stepping back into the backfield a little bit and then handing off just behind the line to Bednarzik. But Bednarzik decided to go the same direction and collided.
Listen, you gotta pitch a no-hitter against Belfry if you're going to have any opportunity to beat them, because any mistake that you make out there on the football field, they're going to eat you up.
They will take very good advantage of every mistake they've had in this run to the state championship, looking for a four-peat. As a matter of fact, their varsity team a couple of years ago, we remember that group, and most of that sophomore group is making up the starting lineup offensively and defensively for the varsity team this year.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a timeout here.
Timeout on the field. South Oldham's going to take it. This is a critical 3rd and 14 early in this one. 50.7 to play in the first quarter. 8-0 Belfry on PrepSpin.com.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky. And all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Back to Bryan Station High School on a partly sunny, partly cloudy day, whichever way you want to go with it, William. But it has turned out to be a really nice day. They're calling for no rain, clouds to give away a little bit later here in the afternoon. And the key to this, 60 to 65 degrees, somewhere in there.
They're playing all this wrestling music here today, here at Bryan Station, and yesterday as well. I tell you what, Belfry trying to 4-peat today.
Yep.
And as Big 77 comes in there and gets him some. But listen to this. You might as well call Belfry the nature boy, because they're going to have more championships than Ric Flair eventually.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jacob Bateston was the beneficiary of that sack of Pierce. Pierce looked like he got stepped on by his center as he came out from underneath the center, and Bateston was there to clean it up. A loss of about 7. It'll be 3rd and 22. Actually, 4th and 22. We're under 20 seconds to play. Belfry will get the football back. Martin, and this one off the side of his foot. It hits at the Belfry 47 and drops inside the Belfry 45 to the 42. As good as the last punt was, this one went right off the side of his foot. But that's not the worst punt I've ever seen.
I mean, you still got some positive yardage out of it. Everybody down in Belfry right now, they're all tweeting back at me and saying, woo!
Well, I tell you what, the worst punt I've ever seen was in a high school game, or sorry, a small college game. The punter punted it back over his head for negative 12 yards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, never seen that happen before. And there was no wind.
That was a hook shot, right?
So he just shanked it back over his head. 5 seconds to play in quarter number 1. Belfry already on top, 8-0. They have it at their own 46-yard line. They give it off. Francis, big hole up the middle, 35 down to the 30. And this is the danger of the Belfry offense. You've already seen Francis. You've seen Hensley. You've seen Bentley. All carry the football. The guy that's forgotten right now is the quarterback Mounts, and they'll run the true option, William, which is hard to do at the middle school level. 1 quarter in the books. Belfry 8. South Oldham nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter of action here in Lexington on PrepSpin.com.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
I'm Marcy Ansley, Executive Director at Lexington Hearing and Speech Center. We've grown into a statewide organization to help children and adults with communication disorders, both hearing and speech. Traditional Bank has been part of our team since we were in the little buildings over on Ashland. We wouldn't be in this building today if it wasn't for their support. I think what makes our banking experience unique is outstanding customer service that we get. They have become part of our family. They have become part of our finance team. Traditional Bank is passionate about what they do.
Welcome back to Bryan Station High School in Lexington, Kentucky. A little bit quieter Lexington, Kentucky after all the action yesterday here in the city. But
you can't tell the neighbors around the high school that it's any quieter, because I tell you what, these fans brought it today.
We got a huge crowd on both sides so far, and you don't think this is important to these young men? Just ask their crowds. Belfry, 1st and 10 at the South Oldham 30-yard line as we get ready to start the second quarter. Receivers to either side, wishbone formation. Mounts gives it off to Francis, and he'll dive across to about the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Belfry.
They're just going to let Francis be the workhorse today. They're going to keep pounding it up the middle, right down the throat, and Darren Douglas, when the opportunity comes, they're going to throw over the top, my friend.
Either that or they're going to pull it. Now, I said before the break that Belfry runs the true option. They let Seth Mounts read it. He'll fake the dive, and there he pulls it. Goes out, option pitch. Hensley, left side, 25, 20, 15, 10, and we get a flag back away from the play. And we have a young man, that's Biznarzik, that's shaken up at the South Oldham 23-yard line. I think we're going to get either a block below the waist or a hold.
I don't see any early indication yet.
We'll
take you into the white hat here.
Yeah, that was the flag away from the play, going away from the play. It went left on the option pitch.
Got different officials today, it looks like.
Yeah, a personal foul, unsportsmanlike.
Must have been that Ric Flair chop.
Well, no. Here's the William. Here's the emphasis this year, not only at the high school level, at the middle school level, the blocking away from the ball that is 25 yards or more away from the ball. So if you're on the other side of the field away from where the ball is going, you're not supposed to hit anybody. So that's the emphasis this year, and it's more on safety. 15-yard penalty on the dead ball. It's second down and short, and a whistle and a false start coming up on Belfry. But, outside of the safety of the kids, let the kids play football. And I'm not talking about just at the middle school level. I'm talking high school, too. Hensley gets a little help from his center there for Belfry. Had a shoe untied, and the center dropped down and just started tying it for him.
They still got the lights on here at
Yeah, buddy.
Station. It's just cloudy, but, it's not that bad out.
Receivers to either side, flexed out. Wishbone formation behind Mounts. Turns, fakes it off to Francis. Pitch coming this way. That's Bentley. Somehow, nice move. Went inside the block of his lead back, Peyton Hensley. And that is Bentley. Give him all the way inside the 15-yard line, down to the 11. That was a gain of 11. First and 10 for Belfry.
That was a good run. He found that extra gear as he came across, as he started to make that turn right there, Darren Douglas. But found that extra gear and got some more yardage there.
Well, I want to have our fans pay attention to the lead backs. If they run that option pitch, the lead halfback out of this wishbone formation for Belfry, watch them get out and get their blocks for their teammates. They turn, pitch it back to Hensley. Straight pitch, swinging right. Or wide left. He made the wrong read of his block from his wide out. I believe that was Birchfield trying to make a block to kick the DB out to the sideline. And Hensley probably should have cut it up inside that block instead of trying to take it to the sideline. But a nice play over there by number 3. That is Trey Garrison, the cornerback for South Oldham.
Don't forget, we're putting instant highlights up on the website. So anytime that a big play happens, we're going to instantly clip that out, and that'll be right there available for you to watch over and over and over again as many times as you like.
Second down and 4 from the South Oldham 8. 6:10 to play. Clock running. Second quarter. Belfry on top. 8-0. They turn. Give it off to Francis, the fullback, and he's met in the hole by number 21. No, there's no 21 on the
61,
roster.
I believe.
61. That would be Jacob Ten Harmsel. For South Oldham. It'll be 3rd and 5. Now, most teams are in 4-down territory inside the 10. Middle school, you're in 4-down territory inside the 25. And they whistle, and false start again coming up on Belfry.
Boy, Belfry's getting a book handed to him on this drive down the field.
Well, I will tell you this, a 5-yard penalty moves it back to the 10. I will say this, actually the 11-yard line. We'll say this, though, Belfry was penalized a lot yesterday. But they are one of the few teams I've seen in this Final Four that have been able to overcome penalties because they are so explosive with the bevy of backs that they have that it doesn't bother them. I mean, it just really doesn't. 3rd and 10. They need to get to the 1.
Big down here.
They give it Belly's second man. This is Francis, and he's dropped at about the 8-yard line. 4th down. And about 7.
I'd almost, do a fade out right now to one of my receivers and one of the corners there because they're expecting them to run again. Let's just do a fade route here and try to score a touchdown.
Did you hear what I said earlier in the broadcast? Belfry doesn't like to throw the football, even at the high school level.
They know, but they scored off throwing the football already today.
True.
And this South Oldham team, they know exactly that Belfry's going to run the ball.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull out the triple option here.
They're going to fade the corner, man.
Bentley and Francis confer. They both reset, and we get a motion penalty. I don't think Bentley heard the actual snap count. So with 4:34 to play, it's now 4th down and 13 as Belfry will call timeout. We'll keep it right here. William, do we have any tweets that we want to get on real quick?
We have got a ton of tweets coming in over here.
Let me guess. Most of the percentage is from Belfry.
Yeah, there's a young lady, her name's Stormy, and she's got that's pretty cool how she spells it on there.
I'll bet it's S-T-O-R-M-I-E.
She's watching the game. We're going to reach out to her, and then D. West Dye watching the game. Jennifer Helton, of course, watching the game. Coach Gooden watching the game. The list goes on. Lee McMichael watching the game. Headley's watching the game. There's a lot of people tuning in today to this one. As a matter of fact, we got about 200 households that are connected to this broadcast. As Aaron battling some flies in the press box, it looks like. I told you yesterday why those flies keep coming in there, don't you?
Yeah, you keep walking in. Stay outside.
No.
We want to also give a shout-out to the Chesters up in Feeding Hills, Massachusetts, watching this afternoon. If you're wondering where Feeding Hills is, it's west of Springfield, Massachusetts. I said that's a good idea because everybody in Kentucky knows where the Basketball Hall of Fame is. They turn. They give it off. Nope, they fake it. They have a man open in the back of the end zone.
And it worked.
Did he catch it? Touchdown,
yes.
Belfry.
I knew it was coming, Darren Douglas. I knew it.
And that is Isaac Spears with his second touchdown catch of the ball game. A nice throw, too, from Seth Mounts. He put it where the only place and the only play that could be made was by his receiver. He had double coverage on Spears and a nice throw from Seth Mounts to Isaac Spears for the touchdown. So with 4:27, Belfry increases their lead to 14-0 over South Oldham.
South Oldham so good on the run in the red zone, Darren Douglas. Really the only way that you can score on them, unless you're on the, in the 5-yard vicinity there, is to throw it over the top, and that's exactly what Belfry just did. Great coaching, good play call over there. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Wishbone formation behind Mounts. Gives it off to the second man through. And did he get in? No. That was Dougie Dillon. Stopped short of the goal line by number 62, Tyrell Love, along with number 5, Keaton Martin, both in on the stop for the Dragons of South Oldham.
And South Oldham coached very well, too. I mean, they know that they need to stop those runs. And you seen it there on that 2-point conversion attempt there, is they stopped them right there, dead in their tracks. But how about that pass? It got me excited.
Well, that was when we talk about Belfry in the running game, what about Mounts, though? Very nice ball handling. He sold the fake to his running back, and then that double coverage on Spears, and for the knowledge of this young man to throw it where only his guy had a shot at it. It was either going to be complete for a touchdown or they were going to turn it over on downs, but only Spears was able to make a play on it because of the throw by Mounts. Here we go. We kick it off here, and Belfry will squib it over to the right side. Nice catch over there of the football at the 40. He gets over Belfry's side of the field across the 50 to the 47-yard line. I believe that is Trey Garrison on the reception of the kick. And that's a tough kick because it looked like it actually came off the side of the foot of Grayson Cook.
He just gave him a lariat right there.
Well, I tell you what, though, South Oldham in great field position at the Belfry 47-yard line. And just to calm things down so South Oldham can regroup, they need a drive right here. 14-0. Martin the back behind Pierce. They bring the wing back to the right. Martin lost the football. I think he got it back. And he did, and he gained a yard to the 46. 2nd down and 9. Looked like Martin that time, Williams, trying to take it out of the hands of his quarterback, Pierce, instead of making the pocket for Pierce to put the ball in his belly.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 9. And, boy, I don't know how many times this year I've seen that oblong football make a true bounce right back up to somebody. I've never seen as many true bounces of that ball that I've seen this year. Pierce turns, pitches back to Martin, running left, gets a block, cuts it up at the 45, the 40, the 35, inside that to the 32-yard line. Gain of 14. It'll be 1st and 10 South Oldham. And we talk about how hard the backs for Belfry run. If you know you run hard, you're going to get your number called. Same thing with Keaton Martin, a very hard running, low center of gravity running back.
South Oldham definitely needs an answer here on this drive to stay in the ball game, because you don't want to give Belfry too much of a lead, or else they're gonna start nailing it down.
1st and 10 South Oldham from the Belfry 32. Pierce throws across the middle, caught for a very short gain.
Look at all those red jerseys around where that pass was at there.
Yesterday I think I used the term they fly to the ball. Watch this. And really South Oldham does the same thing. Both these teams mirror each other offensively and defensively. They'd much rather run the ball, control the clock, and then defensively they really fly to the football. You'll see a number of jerseys around the ball defensively for both teams. That was Isaac Lally that caught the ball for a gain of 2 from Pierce. 2nd down and 8 for South Oldham. 2:49 to play in the first half. Belfry on top, 14-0. They fake it, counter play. Martin, big hole, and a nice open field tackle.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that is
number 4 there for
that's
Belfry.
Seth Mounts, the quarterback for
That was a
Belfry.
nice low tackle right there, and he knocked the young man right off his feet.
Looked like that thing was going to open up for Martin, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, appeared Mounts, and a very sure open field tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 for South Oldham with 2:15 clock running.
Belfry looking for a big defensive stop right here.
And South Oldham looking for something positive offensively. They turn, pitch it back to Big Narzik. He's going to throw it. He has him open. Got tipped. This is Garrison. He comes back and hits him in the chest and comes off.
Oh, and he got hammered.
And I believe that was...
The young man just got hammered.
Well, that ball, I think he got tipped or either came off the side of the hand of Bednarzi, because if he throws it like he normally does, he threw this pass last night.
That ball hit the young man in his chest. I mean, it was on the money, even though it got tipped. It hit him in the chest, and then the young man just got ran over. That was ugly.
I believe that was number 3, or was that number? That's number 8. No, that's number 6. That was Isaiah Birchfield.
That was just
the free safety that separated the ball from Garrison. And it's 4th down and 7. Pierce guns it across the middle. It's caught. Got to get the 1st down. He's not going to get there. Nice defensive play by number 5. That is Isaac Spears. Can't talk now. Isaac Spears with a nice open field tackle. Good throw from Pierce. He gunned it into traffic, and it was caught by number 80, John Downing. And then Downing tried to cut it up, and as he started to make the cut, Spears came out of nowhere to make a nice open field tackle. That's the one thing I've noticed about both these teams yesterday, William. Defensively, they don't miss tackles in the open field. Neither team missed one in the open field yesterday.
Belfry going back on offense right there, but that's a good point you make.
1 minute, 50 seconds to play. The first half of action. Belfry on top, 14-0. They had the ball twice. They've scored twice. And I think we'll get a timeout, South Oldham.
Yep.
We are. Timeout, South Oldham on the field. We'll take it with them. In 30 seconds, we'll be back on PrepSpin.com.
What if you could do all your banking without ever having to run to your bank? What if you could do your banking from any stadium or city in the country? It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. With traditional banks, online and mobile banking, it couldn't be more simple. My life moves pretty fast, and Traditional Bank's team protects me while I do what I do best, at home or away. Way to go, Traditional Bank. You scored again. Traditional Bank's online and mobile banking. Winners at home and on the road.
Traditional Bank.
Back to Lexington Bryan Station High School. Darren Douglas, William Warfield, Aaron Tiny Rose along with us. And I don't think we ever got an answer on how Tiny got his nickname.
Legends.
There you go.
Yep, the Legends gave it to him.
A friend of mine texted me last night and said, y'all never told us how Aaron got his nickname.
The Class A affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, who are soon to be World Series champions.
Yeah, up 3-0, the Royals now. You know,
funny how it works in the circle, though. You worked for the Legends starting out, and now we kind of both are back there producing all their games for minor league baseball.
I found myself in the full circle there.
Yeah. That's It's amazing.
Belfry starts from their own 24-yard line, leading 14-0. They turn. They give it off to it's around the corner. That's actually the halfback. And was that an option pitch or was that belly second man?
It looked like a pitchback to me.
Okay.
The sun behind me here, kind of in my viewfinder, so it's kind of hard to see sometimes.
Do you see sun? Do you see sun right now? I see a break in the clouds. I don't see any sun quite yet.
It might be the lights I'm under.
Okay, it might be. That was actually Hensley that got 8 yards going around the right side. They give it off to Hensley again, and he stopped.
Yeah.
And it looks
South
like
Oldham's got that run covered.
maybe at the 28-yard line. He's going to be actually the 33-yard line. He's going to be a yard short. And timeout, Belfry. 1:08 to play in the first half. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, Belfry's going over there to the side to adjust. I think Coach knows that, if we're going to run it up the middle on these guys, they've got us covered right now. They got our number. They probably practice it,
Right.
even after their game yesterday. But Belfry's going to have to do a lot more of those pitch outs, go around the corners if they're going to run the ball. And then, the passes work today, so let's pass the ball down the field. Let's see.
2 pass completions for 2 touchdowns for Seth Mounts.
Let's see Mounts, put him in a position where everybody can see his arm, see what he's got.
And I'm sorry, I forgot the young man's name. Can you run down there, Tiny, and ask the lady from Belfry what the young man's name was? He's at home watching. He had an injury. I can't remember.
Well, let's just ask our audience.
Joe Chafin, that's who it is.
Chafin.
Joe Chafin. He would be wearing number 24.
Kellyanne says, hey, listen to this. Kellyanne says, go Garrett and the Dragons. Love you, Aunt Kelly. And Agawam is Massachusetts, I think, is where she's at.
Okay. Wow.
And thanks so much for tuning in. And then Pond Creek Nation loves their Pirates, and they love their PrepSpin.
Well,
hey,
thank
that's
you.
something we got in common. PrepSpin Pirates starts with a P. How about that?
Yep. 3rd down and short for Belfry from the 33-yard line. They turn, give it off to, I believe that's Hensley. Bentley. That's Bentley. And he gets over the 35-yard line to their own 39. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Belfry with 1:03 to play before halftime. 14-0 in favor of the Pirates. We thank everybody for tweeting us. Keep doing it, though. And I'm still looking for some food stuff, man. I'm hungry up here.
Son, you always stay hungry.
Well, hey, can't help it. I love good food. Under 45 to play first half, I should say. Mounts, turns, fakes it, looking to throw, under pressure, and down he goes.
That was a great play right there by 32 of South Oldham. He got in there quick and just made a nice hit.
Isaac Lally on the stop for South Oldham, and it brings up 2nd down and about 14. As Mounts was looking to throw, this time he had zeroed in Isaiah Birchfield, but he never had a chance to set his feet and look.
He kind of snuck up in there, too. He said, I got you, player, and he brought him down.
Lally on the throw. Again, Joe Chafin, for those that aren't familiar, Belfry fans are, of course, out with an injury, and I think the PA announcer called his name a couple of times yesterday in the semifinal game with Taylor County. And he's the young man walking on crutches on the sideline over there. So we want to wish him well and hope he comes back fully healthy next fall. But we'll, let them know that we were told to say hi to, I believe, I think the lady up here in the press box with us said it was his parents that are at home and family members. So hello from Lexington.
Hey, we got a tweet here from PWR, or is it PW Revolution, Kentucky? Pro Wrestling Revolution. And they said, we never thought that we would hear such a wrestling-infused football broadcast. Well, son, let me tell you this. Woo!
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Do I got to be the one to bring some sanity to the press box?
You're the manager. You're supposed to do
that.
Oh,
my goodness
You're
gracious.
like our little Bobby Heenan, or maybe – no, actually, you're the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Oh, Mount's running the option. He's dropped.
Wouldn't you agree, Tony? He's the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart of this broadcast.
That's number 62, Tyrell Love on the stop of Mounts, and we'll go to the halftime break. We're at halftime of the Division II 8th grade state championship game, where Belfry leads over South Oldham 14-0. We'll be back with halftime on PrepSpin.com.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I'm Marcy Ansley, Executive Director at Lexington Hearing and Speech Center. We've grown into a statewide organization to help children and adults with communication disorders, both hearing and speech. Traditional Bank has been part of our team since we were in the little buildings over on Ashland. We wouldn't be in this building today if it wasn't for their support. I think what makes our banking experience unique is outstanding customer service that we get. They have become part of our family. They have become part of our finance team. Traditional Bank is passionate about what they do.
Welcome back to Bryan Station High School in Lexington, Kentucky. Darren Douglas, along with William Warfield and Aaron Tiny Rose on the controls here. And got the first half stats here, William. And surprisingly, it's a little skewed because of Belfry on top 14-0. They have 15 carries for 100 yards. They have two passing by Seth Mounts for 78 yards, a couple of scores. So who would have thunk it that they would be as balanced as they are on the ground and in the air here in the first half. Time of possession, which is a useless stat, but they always give it to us, almost dead even. 37 yards on 12 carries for South Oldham. They only have 7 yards passing on 2 of 3. They have 44 total yards here in the first half on 15 plays. The big stat, though, I think there's two stats that stand out at me here in the first half. They are the third down and fourth down conversions. South Oldham 0 of 3 on third down, 0 of 1 on fourth down. Belfry 2 of 3 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down, and then, of course, the red zone scoring chance there on the pass, the second touchdown pass from Mounts to Spears, who on the 1-1 for the red zone chances. First half stats look like this individually. Rushing for Belfry, Francis has 4 for 49. Hensley has 5 for 33. Bentley has 3 for 23. And Dillon 1 for 2. As I mentioned, Mounts 2 for 2, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been sacked once. And, of course, the long play, the 65-yard touchdown pass, the first of 2 from Mounts to Spears. Defensively for Belfry, Birchfield leads in tackles with 4. Francis, Mounts, and Jonathan Stepp each with 2. For South Oldham, Keaton Martin, 7 carries for 36 yards. Bednarzik, 2 for 12. Ray, 1 for 2. And Pierce, unfortunately, 2 carries for -13. Pierce is 2 for 2 passing for 7 yards. Sacked twice. Bednarzik is 0 for 1. Downing 1 for 5 on receiving. Isaac Lally 1 for 2. Defensively, Martin leads the Dragons in tackles with 3. 2.5 each for Footold and Love, and 1.5 for Chester. The scoring looked like this in the first half with 3 minutes, 19 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Belfry got on the board, surprised everybody as Isaac Spears got behind the defense, and Mounts hit him with a 65-yard touchdown pass. Francis had the 2-point conversion. It was 8-0 in favor of Belfry. The drive, 4 plays, 91 yards. It took 2 minutes, 9 seconds. Second quarter with 4:27 to go. It was again Mounts to Spears, a 13-yard pass. Dougie Dillon's rush for 2-point conversion failed, and Belfry was up 14-0. It was a 8-play, 51-yard drive, and Belfry leads at 14-0 at halftime.
All right, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, thank you so much. Hey, listen, check this out. We got some tweets coming in. Missy Wagner Dotson She's watching back at home as well. And David Jones, he says, PrepSpin, this is where our championships start at the high school level. BMS future looks bright. And, of course, he used our hashtag WGMOrtho. Thank you so much, David Jones.
You know who that is? It's Coach Jones now at the Belfry High School level, but also played at Belfry for Coach Philip Haywood, then went on to the University of Kentucky. And he had a huge touchdown in, I believe, it was the Liberty Bowl against East Carolina.
All right.
And if that's the David Jones I'm thinking about, he'll text us back.
Yep, I believe so. We got some Raising Cane's chicken coming up here
Hey,
to us.
he must have heard me.
Folks.
They must have had it online over there. I'm talking about how hungry I was, and here he comes up with food.
We appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. So, Darren Douglas, all these tweets coming in to us. A lot of Belfry fans, a lot of South Oldham fans tuning in today. Go Garrett and Dragons. Love you, Aunt Kelly.
You read
that. D. West Die, again, she says Grayson Cook out there playing for Belfry Middle School, was in the hospital with a punctured lung last week.
Wow. Ouch.
And Belfry strong. So I want to send our shout out to that young man. And, man, are you serious? He's out there playing? That's amazing.
Well,
that is
amazing. I want some of that good medical doctoring up there in Belfry there, because evidently they've got some miracle workers up there. Because that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
Story,
yeah.
And talking about faith in football, man.
I get a hangnail. I'm laid up for a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. And let's see here. Go ahead and tweet us in at PrepSpin, and we'll get your tweets on the air. And Darren Douglas, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Oh, you're going to turn it back? You're going to let me talk now? Wow.
Just for a second. I'm trying to follow up with some people here.
Okay. Well, again, William, here's the neat thing about it. I got online the other night about 2 weeks ago, and just not kind of preparing for this. I fully enjoyed. We know high schools have hype videos and stuff. Didn't know Belfry Middle School had one.
That is the David Jones one.
That is, okay. That's what I thought. And we met a long time ago when he was playing at Belfry, as a matter of fact. So,
hey, check this out, though. I just put this together, and it's one of my, thinking crazy, thing. But,
warning.
Hold up. In the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that Davy Jones in that first one?
Maybe.
Think about it.
I'm not a movie buff.
So we got a David Jones as a pirate here, the Pirates of Belfry.
Yeah.
And in the Pirates of the Caribbean, we got a Davy Jones.
Well, I'm not a movie buff unless it's a sports movie.
Aaron Rose, Tiny over here, has confirmed.
Okay. Well, he's the movie buff.
Yes, sir.
This guy in the press box, he can tell us about every movie made, probably.
We call him Mr. Netflix. He's cut the cable, and he's pure streaming right now.
Well, William, this first half between Belfry and South Oldham, I think, went the way we thought it would. Both teams trying to establish the running game with their main guys. However, Belfry kind of threw us a little curveball in the first half, throwing for 2 touchdowns in the first half. Also, a friend of mine just texted me, said, you would be remiss if you don't say hello to Coach Philip Haywood at Belfry. I'm actually reading his book right now, and I fully recommend it to everybody. And right now, though, the title of the book escapes me, but I want to thank one of my friends at Woodford County who is a Belfry alum.
Okay.
That gave me the book. I want to thank her. Tara Atkins is her married name. I want to thank her for giving me the book to read, because I had always, from afar, admired Philip Haywood because he does things the old school way and shows that all this air raid and all this stuff is all well and good. It's great for the fans to watch the ball being thrown around, 50, 60 times a game. But the old school works with a good fundamental coaching, both offensively and defensively. You got to run the ball. You got to be able to throw it. You got to block. You got to tackle.
All right, so here's the deal. How about, I know Belfry's going to have a home playoff game.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe 2 weeks from now. Maybe in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to work this year. I know the first round, the first and second seeds of each district host the game. Now, I don't know how it goes after that, so we can figure it out. But we would love to come down to Belfry and do the game on Friday night in a couple of weeks if they are at home. It'll give me a chance it'll give us a chance to get a hold of that environment.
I want to go down there and check it out.
There you go. Well, why don't we just drive down? If we don't do the game, why don't we just drive down and see?
We'll just go down there and tailgate with the fans.
Maybe do a road show.
I think we need to do it.
And all I know is I want to find out the best tailgating spot. South Oldham's in the playoffs, so I want all the fans from Crestwood. I want to know the best tailgating spot if we come to Crestwood, and I want to know the best tailgating spot when it comes to Belfry.
I don't think I'm like you. I just want some of that Belfry cooking.
Well, I just want some food, yes, but I want to know the best tailgating spot. What are you going to have?
You got young lady says you forgot to get some crawfish, man.
Crawfish. That's the one thing I'm not into. I don't know why. I tried it once. I didn't acquire the taste for it, so I want some good down-home mountain cooking.
Faith, Family, and Football is the title of the book.
Faith, Family, and Football. Well, hey, we should have known that. Have we talked about that on this broadcast?
You got about 20 tweets that just came in and said that's what the name of the book is.
Wow. Well, I should have known that because we've talked about this on the broadcast too. So, I just want some good old-fashioned, home-cooked mountain food. In other words, I want to just urge to go, ugh.
Here you go.
Okay.
Belfry will host in round 2, and it will be Haywood's 400th win, possibly. We're going.
Hook us up. We'll be right there. South Oldham kicks it off to begin the second half. Comes down at the 22-yard line. This is Hensley to the 35, up over the 35 to the 40, to over the 40 to the 43-yard line. He came within a whisker, William, of breaking that one down. Uh-oh, we apologize. We have evidently lost the camera for some reason. We'll be back with it. I'll try to bring you the audio until we get hooked up again on the video. So 1st and 10 for the Belfry Pirates at their own 43-yard line to start the third quarter, up 14-0. We got
tripped over the wire, and I apologize.
Pick your feet up over there, man. Got a short in it, sounds like. They bring Bentley in motion. Turn. Give it off to the left halfback. Hensley cuts up inside of his block. Gets over midfield down to the South Oldham. Maybe the 43-yard line. They actually give him the 42. So he gets 11. Give him 1st and 10 for the Pirates of Belfry. Looking to win their 4th straight middle school 8th grade Division II title. And actually, this might be the group that gets it done because they have looked like a machine so far through these 2 games.
All right, are we good?
7.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Belfry on top, 14-0. They turn, give it off to the fullback, Francis. And he keeps those legs churning inside the 45, down to about the 40-yard line. Give him 7 if they give him the 40.
Apologize about that technical glitch.
Well, pick your feet up over there. We got so many wires running around here, we got to walk like the guards at Buckingham Palace. 2nd down and 4 for Belfry. South Oldham right now looking for a defensive stop. They give it off to Hensley. Big hole on the right side, behind that right side for the Pirate offensive line. On that side of the line for Belfry, number 58, Nate Helton. Along with number 54, John Ashurst, opened up a huge hole there. They got 8. 2nd down, 3rd and 2. Closer to 2 than it is the 1 yard marked on the scoreboard. South Oldham looking like a team right now struggling to stop this Belfry running attack. Wide out to the left. Fullback is Francis, and Mouse calls his number this time on the quarterback sneak. Gets down inside the 35 to the 34. Gain of 8. 1st and 10 for Belfry. On the stop, Tyrell Love again for South Oldham.
Well, you know everybody's watching when they saw the black picture there.
5:58, clock running. Belfry on the opening drive of the second half, already up 2 scores. Now it calls out the signals, turns, pitches back to Bentley, cuts it inside a block, and it's down to about the 30-yard line as he's ridden out of bounds by Tyrell Love from his defensive tackle spot, and also Keaton Martin. And we'll give also a credit to the tackle by Isaac Lally. Belfry back to the line of scrimmage. Nobody wide this time. True double tight wishbone set. Mounts, turns, fakes, throwing for Spears.
Oh.
Dropped it. Got out there. Looked like Spears got out of control on his running, where he kind of just looking back over that left shoulder, kind of lost sight of the football.
Right off his fingertips.
Right off his fingertips. And again, though, the ball by Mounts on the throw, where only Spears had a shot at it. So an incomplete pass on their third attempt of the ball game. I think we've seen Belfry in this tournament, both 7th and 8th grade teams, maybe over the last 5 years, throw the combined maybe 8 passes. They've thrown 3 in this ball game. 5:05 to play. 3rd down, 7. They turn, give it off to Hensley, running left. Has Bentley out in front of him as the flag flies. He's going to be dropped. No, he breaks that tackle, gets inside the 25, maybe to the 24. But we have a flag from the umpire, and that's usually in the area of holding. On the stop for South Oldham was number 3, Trey Garrison, the right corner over there. And we get a hold on Belfry. This is about the only thing today so far Belfry has done wrong with him in the first half. They had 4 penalties for 30 yards. This is penalty number 5 on the Pirates. So holding on Belfry goes from 3rd and short to now 3rd and long. .445 to play in the third. Belfry's had the ball the entire second half so far. Now it's long call. Turns, pitches back to Bentley. Inside as he cuts it out off a block by Francis and Hensley. And South Oldham right there on the stop. John Downing and Keaton Martin for South Oldham.
I want to send a shout out to Shanika Jackson, tuning in again today, rooting on her Pirates.
4th down and about 15 as he got 1. Wide out to the left side. The tight end, Spears, back to the right. They fake it, looking. They have the man out of the backfield, Bentley, on the wheel route, and he dropped it. Boy, Mounts has thrown 4 passes, and all 4 have been beauties. The last 2 have been dropped by his receivers. They had Bentley on the wheel route coming out of the backfield as the wideout had run a quick slant to clear out that side of the field, and Bentley catches that. There's nobody out there for South Oldham.
None at all.
But again, they dropped the pass. So Spears dropped one a moment ago. Now Bentley drops this one. Or South Oldham's drive could be going, Belfry's drive could be continuing, or they could have another 6 on the board. But now South Oldham catches a break. And they have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line, looking to get their offense on track.
Principal Jeremy Howard getting a shout out here for Belfry. I'll send a shout out to him.
The counter play going to Martin. No, sir. Nothing. Belfry all over that play. In on the stop for the Pirates. And they say most of the defensive line. I think that's a pretty good call because you couldn't single out anybody on that defensive front. They all had a piece of that tackle. So it's 2nd down and 13 after the loss of 3 by Martin.
Being told, Darren, that Jeremy Howard actually out there with the team. He's been out there every game.
Wow.
Principal. That's dedication.
Well, that's called tradition. 3:05, third quarter. South Oldham looking, second down and 13. They throw it out here to Besnarzik.
Oh,
it's intercepted.
Yes, sir. He said he wanted it more. He said, I'm going to take it.
That's Bentley with the interception. He's still free, running free, cuts it back here to the near side again. He has an alley. We have a flag behind the play, and he gets down to the 32-yard line of South Oldham. And I think it's coming back from the 42.
I don't know. I think the interception's good. I think it was holding on Belfry, though.
Yeah, it was after the interception, so Belfry will retain possession. I think they'll either get a clip or a block in the back.
Let's go in here to this white hat, see what happens. Yep.
Block in the back. So it'll move it back from the 42-yard line of South Oldham to the 47-yard line. I think it's a 5-yard penalty. I never know with these guys anymore. I got to watch the guys.
Who was number 3 again there that made the interception?
That was Bentley.
Bentley, okay.
Bentley.
Well, Bentley just aired that one. I mean, he got some air on that one, my friend.
Yeah, it's a 10-yard penalty. It'll take it back to the 48-yard line of Belfry. But
Darren, he said, I got this, homeboy. He said, you ain't catching this. This is my football. I got this, homeboy.
Belfry will have the football. They turn to give it off to Hensley here on the near side. Gets back inside South Oldham territory to the 49. Gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. On the stop, John Downing, along with number 22 for South Oldham, Ethan DeBezier.
Say what?
DeBezier. DeBezier. D-E-V-I-E-S-E-R.
That sounds like a rich bottle of wine or something.
It'll be second down, 7 for Belfry. And they go to the true formation of the double tight ends, wishbone formation. Mounts, turns, fakes it off to Francis, gives to Hensley, running left. Gets down to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be third down and short. So third and about 4 for Belfry from the South Oldham 46-yard line, or just inside of it.
Got fans watching on their iPhone. Got a tweet says that they're watching on the iPhone. We have there's a school that is watching the game too over in South Oldham. They got a gym with
full
a projector.
of people? Wow.
Yeah, full of people, and they're watching there as well. So that's pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Nice idea. And we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They had too many men on the field at South Oldham defensively. Wow. On third and 4, South Oldham gives Belfry a free first down with 12 men on the field.
Randy Brown watching on their iPhone as well.
Ask them how the picture looks on their iPhone.
It's an HD, my friend.
Well, I just want to ask how it looks on the phone.
Well, it looks good.
Thank you. Well, I'm taking your word for it.
I watch replays on my phone all the time.
I want to know what they think.
You know, most of our traffic actually is from mobile devices, my friend.
They give it off to Dominic Francis, running right. Boy, I tell you, Francis running hard as Michael Stevens had a hold of him. The problem was Stevens couldn't bring him down.
And you being a radio guy, you always talking about listening device. Let me tell you, my friend, who's going to listen when you can watch it? Think about it. The future of broadcasting.
You have to understand. I've been in this game 30 years. The internet's been around, what, 10, 12?
Well, we're trying to get you acquainted with the new technology, my friend.
Well, you ever heard the saying, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks?
I remember the internet all the way back from 1998, buddy.
Well,
I mean, that's when it first started.
But I'm talking about viewing stuff on the internet other than the internet. I'm talking about games like we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to stream until it was 2007 when we just had the.
So 8 years, less than 10.
Yeah, 2007, I think, is when we first started experimenting.
I mean, when we came to cell phones, I had the big one that looked like a daggone old Army radio from the old Army movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Under a minute to play, they turn, give it off to Hensley. Big hole, but there might be a reason for it. Might be coming back for a hold.
Laundry on the field.
Yeah, there was a huge hole, but there may have been a reason for it. One of the Belfry linemen may have been holding.
Well, that's where the flag's at, too, and that's exactly what it is.
Holding on Belfry, and right now Belfry is shooting themselves in the foot with the penalties. But South Oldham right now, William, unable to take advantage of those because of that.
I was watching a football game. Well, I was doing a football game in Lexington a few weeks ago, And we were talking about the flags coming through. I saw the official, he threw the flag in one of the linemen's faces mask, and it got stuck in there.
Tiny pulled it up on his iPhone in here, and it looks good.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine as a lineman, though, you're in a play, and then all of a sudden you got this yellow flag in your face?
They throw it in the middle of the screen to Francis. He has it inside South Oldham territory. We have another flag on the far side. See what we have over there. He got back into the South Oldham end of things at the 49. It's a gain of 6. It is. But proverbial sideline warning on Belfry.
But them officials know that they're on TV. They just like
explain what we've got. We have an ineligible receiver downfield. And that simply means that somebody was covered up. I think they had the wide out to the left side and a tight end on the same side. And if the wide out was up on the line of scrimmage, that means that the tight end can't go out in the pass pattern.
Haley's watching on her iPhone as well. She said it looks amazing, Darren Douglas.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, guys. I'm old school. I'm still trying to break down. First down, and the proverbial. Well, let me tell you, announces coach. Receiver downfield didn't have him. He was covered up, so he can't check down to his back that was coming out of the backfield in the flat. That's just coaching, folks. That's not Mounts doing it. He has some ability as a quarterback, but that's coaching. Hey, if you don't have your original guy, look for your second guy.
I want to point out to the people listening and watching, not listening, watching back home.
Watching?
That's a new word for it. Listen, if you're watching back home, I got my red Belfry shoes on today.
Oh, boy.
Look at them. Darren Douglas.
I thought they were clown shoes, to be honest with you.
Look, Darren Douglas. Man, come on.
Come on, man. Well, the size of that foot, it looks like
look,
it.
the only clown in here is you.
No, sir.
That's why them
Belfry fans that like me, come to my defense.
Getting back to why those flies are in here, my friend.
Oh, go on back out there on the porch.
I can tell you that. I'll do it all fair, but I'll tell you exactly why flies are attracted to you, my friend.
Hey, because I'm so sweet. I'm sweet as honey.
It's not sweet about it, my friend.
I'm sweet as honey, babe. 8 minutes to go for where Belfry can four-peat, or will South Oldham win their first state championship at the middle school football level, Division II, 8th grade. William, this has been exactly what we thought it might be. We were talking last night after we got off the air when you guys were packing up and we were getting ready to carry stuff out of here. We thought this might be a heavyweight slugfest, and it is.
It is.
It's not the prettiest game of football right now by any stretch of imagination, but both these teams giving it all they got.
And, South Oldham's still not out of this ball game now. If Belfry scores again on this drive, they will be.
They turn, give it off to Francis up the middle. He picks his way in, down. And
look, we got County, and they say, woo.
Okay. 3rd down 9 for Belfry. The receiver here to the near side. Short side. And then the wishbone formation in behind. They pitch it back to Bentley. Sweeping right. Tries to get outside. A nice open field tackle by Ethan DeBezier. A beautiful open field tackle by the outside linebacker for the Dragons. He dropped Bentley for a loss of 4. 4th and about 13. And let's see if Belfry punts this thing and tries to keep South Oldham deep. Their crowd across the way. You hear what the crowd from Belfry wants across the way. They want the Pirate coaching staff to go for it. It looks like they are.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to
be doing. On 4th and 14. Boy, you too. This is a tough one here. If I'm Belfry, if I'm a head coach, I punt this deep and try to keep South Oldham backed up.
Yeah, but I'd say Belfry's had the luck with this route right here.
4th and 14, and pressure applied on Mounts by Lally, and he gets to Mounts and puts him on the ground as the ball's released. Looking again for Spears. It falls incomplete, and South Oldham will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line, trailing 14-0 with 6:25 to play in the ball game. So South Oldham, their defense stands up and puts a hold on the Belfry offense. They go Wildcat formation. Keaton Martin is the quarterback. They turn, give it off to number 32, I believe. That's Lally, I believe, on the carry. He stopped. Actually, that was Bowling, actually. Stopped after a gain of 2 yards to the 45. Second down and 8. And on the stop for the Pirates, Ethan Wolford along with John Ashurst, the two defensive linemen. One of the defensive tackle, one the defensive end. Second down and 8 for South Oldham. They give it on. Martin keeps it on the Wildcat. Quarterback breaks free. He's at the 40, the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, South Oldham. Well, pretty much after the one carry on the first series for South Oldham from Martin, Belfry's defense had bottled him up. This time he goes left out of the Wildcat down the far side. He broke a tackle about the 45-yard line of Belfry. And then from there, it was just clear sailing for Martin. And it's 14-6 with 5:39 to play in the fourth quarter. Belfry on top, 14-6, 2-point conversion for South Oldham coming up.
Just a reminder, we are streaming today off of a hotspot. Bryan Station, unfortunately, does not have internet in their press box that we can plug into, which most schools do nowadays, but they don't. And so if there's any interruptions in the broadcast, we apologize.
Martin tries to get the 2-point conversion. It does. They went to this Wildcat formation this series, and Martin carries all but once on the drive, and South Oldham has cut the Belfry lead to 14-8 with 5:39 to play, and now their crowd with something to cheer them out here on the near side.
Ooh, that gives South Oldham the upper hand right now, too. Belfry's going to have to come down and score.
PrepSpin.com.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
Back to Bryan Station High School. South Oldham's crowd on their feet after the Dragons gave them something to holler about. They're up down now 14-8. This one bounces back to Hensley at the 28. Angles off to the right side. Breaks the tackle at the 28. Cuts back into the middle of the field and is going to be dropped at the 38-yard line. A return of 10 yards on the stop for South Oldham. Number 42, Chandler Muth, along with number 62, Tyrell Love, on kick coverage for South Oldham. And right now, all the momentum with South Oldham. And going forward on 4th and 14, William came back to bite Belfry.
Well, you live to play another down, Darren.
Well, that's true, but I would have probably played field position there. They turn, give it off to Francis, running off the right side. They'll get up over the 40-yard line to about the 43-yard line. And on the stop for South Oldham, I believe that was Stevens, number 67, that submarine Francis. But they give him 5 to the 43. Second down and 5 for Belfry with 5:09 clock running. Pirates lead 14-8. Wishbone formation. They motion Birchfield out wide to the far side. They give it off. This is Hensley. He'll get close to the first down. He'll be stopped maybe a yard short.
Got a little extra pushing out there as well. So both teams are really engulfed in this, what has become during this game, a rivalry, if you will. Both teams just going hard at each other.
They gave him to the 47-yard line. It'll be third and about a yard and a half. He needs just over the 48-yard line.
Belfry trying to four-peat.
Big-time play right here. Mounts, make sure everybody's set. Under center. Turns, gives it off to Francis. First down over the midfield stripe into South Oldham territory at the 49.
Big 55 gave him a nice little push there as well.
Ethan Wolford, the right guard. And a first down, actually we're going to call it midfield, right on the, just a little bit over the midfield stripe. So it'll be 1st and 10 from midfield for Belfry. 4 minutes to play in this one in regulation. Birchfield here to the near side. The tight end to the far side. They turn, give it off. This is Bentley running right, tripped up. Nice defensive play down there by the little guy on the right, on the left corner. That looks like, can't tell from here. Can you see the number over there, Tiny? That's actually, is that 32? That can be, that's not Lally. That is. That's Lally over there on the top, on the stop.
We had a tweet that says, you sure can't tell that the announcer isn't just a little bit biased for Big Red. Well, let me tell you something, Darren Douglas.
Yes.
I like Belfry. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know that much about South
They've been
Oldham,
good to us as well.
Congratulations to them getting here, but Belfry and PrepSpin, we got kind of a bond together, if you will, because over the last over their three-peats the last 3 years, and then possibly this year with their four-peat.
Although it's
these guys have been with us every step of the way. We've been with them; they've been with us every step of the way. So we kind of got this bond going. This is the first time South Oldham fans have been here. So yeah.
Well, I will say this though.
We do.
That four-peat is very much in doubt right now. South Oldham has all the momentum, but right now they've got a 3rd and 7 to make a defensive stop on Belfry.
We are your Belfry championship broadcast team. I'll just say it.
I can't say that.
We've got 3 titles underneath our belt.
Well,
they're going for a 4th one today. Well, now, Darren's going to call it right down the middle regardless, but I tell you what, I'm on the Belfry bandwagon, folks.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say it.
That's not good. That's not good. 3rd and 7. Here we go.
I'm on the Belfry bandwagon. I like them. The tradition.
I will say the fans have been very good to us. Now, we haven't had any interaction with the South Oldham fans to speak of, and it's not on them, it's not on us. It's just that we all haven't been able to get together and get to know them like we have Belfry fans. 3rd down 7, the wishbone formation, receivers to either side. They turn, pitch it back to Hensley, hitting the backfield, breaks the tackle. He's at the 40. Gets the first down, 35, 30, and then run out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. A big first down on the carry from Hensley.
That was huge.
Peyton Hensley been kind of quiet today, but he has a big first down run out of him there for the first down. He gets down to the 26-yard line of South Oldham, 2:50 to play. And here to bear in mind, folks, too, South Oldham down to 1 timeout in this ballgame, and that's critical.
How does Donald Trump say that? Huge. It's huge.
Well, I'm not a Yankee. I'm born, bred, Southern fed. So I can't say it. They have Baisden, the big defensive tackle, in at fullback right now.
That's why they call you the mouth of the South, my friend.
They turn, give it off to Francis deep. Over the left or the right side of that offensive line. They've run behind most of the day Wolford, and I believe that is, I think that's Jonathan Stepp over on the other side. I can't pick up the right guard's number for Belfry, but he got 3. 2nd down, 7. Clock running. It is the friend right now of Belfry. South Oldham's enemy is that timer. They have to get a stop, but they prefer a turnover.
The timer. The timer's their enemy. It's the clock. It's the clock, you idiot.
The timer. They turn. Give it off. This is Dillon this time. And he stood up at the 20-yard line. Down on the bottom of that pile. For South Oldham, number 62, Tyrell Love. And Love in these two games, South Oldham, I think, is going to just use their final timeout. I will say this, Tyrell Love in the two games defensively, 62 for South Oldham, has been all over the field. And from his defensive tackle spot, that's tough to do. I mean, everybody thinks that, you know, it is an unthankful job to play the offensive or defensive line. You don't get recognized a lot unless you do something that draws a penalty. But let's face it here. Right now, this game is going to come down in the trenches to the two lines, the offensive line of Belfry versus the South Oldham defensive line. Belfry's got to find a way to get Tyrell Love blocked. Tyrell Love has to find some way to get through that Belfry offensive line, for himself or to open up a lane for one of his other defensive teammates. 3rd and 4, 2:02 to play. I think it's fair to say this is not the most important play. It's the most important play right now, because Belfry's going to go for it on 4th down no matter what. 3rd and 4 from the 20 of South Oldham. The Dragon defense all packed in. They turn, give it off to Francis. He squeezes through a hole, and will get down to the 18, maybe the 17-yard line. He needs the 16.
Yeah, if they get the first down, this game's over, my friend.
That's the key. Now it's 4th down and maybe about a yard and a half. Now that is the final timeout for South Oldham.
And you got to go for it right here. That's exactly what Belfry's doing. Now, this is a situation where you don't want to pass because you're so close to that first down right there. This is a situation where you got to have your guy. That's why he's giving him a break during this timeout. You got to have your guy make that run. He's got to get that yardage right now to get that first down. You get that first down, this game's over with. If it turns over on downs, then South Oldham will have a great opportunity right here to try to win it with still almost 2 minutes to work with.
Game on the line. 4th and about a yard. Oh, it's going to be closer to 2. 4th and 2. They gave him the 18. So 4th down 2.
Need 2 yards here.
If Belfry can get the first down, they have a really good chance of running the clock out.
This right here is the play of the game.
If South Oldham can get the stop, there's always a couple of players. Ethan Bednarczyk.
Do you blitz here? Do you run the blitz?
Well, I don't know. I tell you, I'm glad I was an offensive coordinator. I know what I'm going with. I'm going with my bread and butter. And today it has been Dominic Francis.
Yeah, I think Francis has got to carry a couple guys on his hips. And I think they got it.
He's going to be close. He's going to be close. It depends on the spot. It looks like they're giving him the 16, but it is tough to see.
They may have to measure this.
I think it's going to be close. Boy, South Oldham did a nice job. Belfry went right to their guy. They got the 16, and this is going to be a critical
they're going to measure.
You got some South Oldham people down there pointing towards the South Oldham end of the field saying that we stopped him, we got the football.
Look at this.
It is close.
Look at this.
The South Oldham fans down there clamoring short. Everybody on their feet here on the near side. Everybody on their feet on the far side.
Well, here we go, Darren.
Now, how would you like to be the chain gang right here? He's knocking, walking out.
They're on the spot.
They got it on the 16. He's just shy of it. Looked like he needed to get to the 16. They stretch the chains, and
he's going to be short. By an inch.
Short by a chain link. They're going to put it down again. Hold on, they're going to make sure.
Short.
First down, South Oldham. The South Oldham defense comes up big, and with 1:47 to play, the Dragons have a chance, but they are out of timeouts, William. Very critically. Spent one just because they couldn't get lined up properly earlier in this half. The last 2 defensively to save time on the clock. But a nice job defensively. And again, at the bottom of that pile, Tyrell Love. So now it's on the Belfry defense. If the Pirates win a 4-peat, it's on the South Oldham offense. If the Dragons want to have a shot at knocking off the Pirates. Here we go. 1:47 to play. Pierce under center. Turns, pitches back to Martin. He's going to throw it. Bednarczyk slips, still on his feet. Catches it at the 40 of South Oldham. He's run out of bounds at the 48 of Belfry.
That's one way to move the ball downfield real quick. 1:37 left to go in this one, Darren Douglas.
We'll give Martin credit. Bednarzik was running an out and up. He slipped and fell. Martin saw it, gave him time to get up, and then threw a pass that kind of hung up. But Bednarzik caught it, and he's into Belfry territory at the 48 with 1:32 to go. And we're going to get, I believe, a sideline warning on South Oldham. So back everybody up. And actually, I think we're going to get an extra time back on the clock, maybe. Let's see what we get. Yep, 1:37. So 1:37 on the clock. 48 yards away from the tie for South Oldham. First and 10, Belfry 48. They turn, give it off to Martin in the hole to the 40, down to the 37-yard line. First and 10 for.
The clock continues to move.
Well, it'll stop. It didn't run. It ran 5 seconds, but it'll start as soon as they set the box on the far side. First and 10, South Oldham from the 37 of Belfry.
Belfry needs a huge stop here. They're going to
Clock
spike the
running,
football.
will spike the ball. It'll be second and 10. And really, you don't need to panic for South Oldham's offense right now. You do not have any timeouts. However, you just gave up a down there. Second down and 10 for Belfry. 1:27, or excuse me, for South Oldham. 1:27 to play in this one. And this is the first of 4. Up next, Pikeville and Christian Academy of Louisville. If you think this one's good, we might get better the second game. You never know. 1:27. Martin dropped the football, and he's going to be stopped for a yard loss back to the 39.
They got very, very lucky on that one.
Well, Martin went up under center. I thought maybe the Wildcat formation would be better suited there.
Clock continues to run. 1:12 left to go.
3rd and 11. Pierce.
Everybody's standing on their feet here.
Are they
going to
huddle? Wow.
You don't want to huddle here.
No, they just killed 10 seconds by huddling.
They're still killing time.
Under a minute to play. 3rd and 11. Well, here's what South Oldham's got tonight. Also, they do not want a delay of game penalty. 3rd and 11. Pierce still under center. Now he gets under. Turns. Rolling right. Or rolling left. Stops. Throws. And knocked away.
Coverage.
And that is Bentley. And I believe Bentley just jammed a finger or something.
That was good coverage there for.
Ball hung up on Pierce. And that was Bentley. Bentley actually.
I think he just got the wind knocked out of him briefly.
Yeah, he and Lally were fighting, or actually it was Besnaric fighting for position. The South Oldham fans not happy. Both players were fighting for position. And then on top of that,
38 seconds, Darren, that's important.
Yep, they thought this is the play right here for the ball game. South Oldham, 4th and 11 from the Belfry 38.
Defense.
Martin now goes back to the shotgun.
Defense can win the ball game here for Belfry.
Martin going around the left side.
He might get it.
Cuts it inside the 40. Going to be dropped to the 32-yard line, and Belfry's defense comes up big.
Wow. The game changer.
Wow. South Oldham had a shot at it. Martin big on the couple of runs, then an incomplete pass after spiking the football. That's the one. That was the killer. You really need to spike the ball. You have the time stopped. You still got a minute and a half or so to play, William. Mm-hmm. And you spike the football and give up a down to make it 2nd and long.
Belfry going to 4-peat.
But it wasn't easy.
It wasn't.
South Oldham came to play today, and I tell you what, South Oldham let Belfry know they were in for a tussle today. 30.4 to play, and Belfry going to 4-peat, as you mentioned. Mounts takes a knee, and they will not need to run another play.
That's the play of the ball game right there.
A big defensive stop. Did not see who the cornerback was. Did you guys pick up the number on the far side that stopped Martin? I'm thinking that was Bentley who made the knockdown of the pass.
Yeah.
The play before, I think
it was Bentley and somebody else.
Yeah, I couldn't see the number. No, I couldn't see the number who stopped Martin on that run on 4th down.
It was Bentley and someone else.
Bentley and somebody.
Did it.
Okay.
There was 2 of them.
Well, South Oldham
But
acquitted
luckily
themselves very well. Belfry
they had
holds
double
on.
coverage downfield.
Yeah. Belfry holds on. We'll be back. We'll close the door on this one. Give you the final stats.
No. We're going to stay right here. They're going to do a trophy presentation.
Okay.
We want to make
I was
sure
going to take just 30 seconds to get it out, but we'll keep it right here. Hey, if you guys are anywhere near a White, Greer, and Maggard orthodontic clinic, dental clinic, please go in and tell them thank you for sponsoring middle school football on PrepSpin.com. They are our title sponsor.
Even if you could just tweet at them, we'd appreciate
or
it.
email or whatever. But Belfry, 4 Peats today with a 14-8 victory over a very valiant South Oldham Ball Club. And I tell you what, we thought this might be a fight, might be a low scoring, and it's exactly that. Today with South Oldham and Belfry, and we expect another good one.
This is almost a dynasty here at Belfry Middle School. That's 4 in a row.
Well, I tell you what, South Oldham, you know what? South Oldham is on the rise at the high school level. We see why. This middle school program, very, very talented group, and I'm looking forward to. I've got some names marked on my roster here that I'll keep. I've got so much stuff that when I was married, my ex-wife used to tell me, "Would you throw some of this stuff away?" I said, no, I'm going to follow these kids when they get to high school and maybe into college. And right now we're seeing some of the benefits at the high school level. I recognize a bunch of names from some teams that we've covered here over the last 5 years or so. So Belfry, 4 Peats, 14-8 over South Oldham. And it was a really good football game. It wasn't the most well-played game, but you could tell both teams really struggling to put what they wanted to do offensively and defensively, and just a big play at the end of the ball game by the Belfry defense after a big stop from South Oldham on the Belfry offensive stop, or on the offensive series before that. So an unbelievable finish to this ball game, and hats off to both teams. If the other 3 games can live up to this afternoon, it'll be it'll be a long day. It'll be an exhausting day for us because we've been here. We're the only group that's been here for we'll have been here for all 12 games today. And I mean,
the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah, the last 5 years in a row. And William and I have been here for all of them. We got Tiny. Tiny's enjoyed himself the last day and 1 game so far, and I'm sure he'll be back next year with us. So we're going to get the recognition of the state champion runner-ups, the Dragons of South Oldham, and then the champions of the state 8th grade Division II, Belfry Pirates. So while we're at it right now, while we're getting that trophy presentation, we'll have it on the video, but we will also give you the stats here. Now, Belfry really ran almost twice as many plays as did South Oldham. Belfry racked up 188 yards rushing on 39 carries. They had a 3 of 6 passing for 90 yards, and actually 78 of them came in the first half for Belfry. Belfry 45 plays, 278 yards. They had 9 penalties for 73 yards. Now, if Belfry had wound up losing this game, they could point at the fact that they were so undisciplined when it came to penalties. They had 9 penalties for 73 yards. That's a lot for them to have. We've seen them go and almost play errorless-free football, or error-free football. But today they were just really tough on themselves as far as penalties are concerned. 5 of 9 on 3rd down for the Pirates. They were 1 of 4 on 4th down. South Oldham finished today with 107 yards rushing on 18 carries. They were 3 of 7 passing with 1 interception. 25 total plays for South Oldham for 150 total yards. They were 0 of 4 on 3rd down, 0 of 2 on 4th down. The big one, the second one there for the 0 of 2 on 4th down was the final play for South Oldham in this ball game. Keaton Martin rushed the ball 12 times for 104 yards. It was Besneric carrying the ball twice for 12. Jackson Ray and John Downing each for a carry for 2 yards. Belfry rushing the football 13 for 84 for Dominic Francis. Peyton Hensley 12 for 78. Ben Bentley 8 for 25. And Dougie Dillon 2 for 4. Pierce was 2 of 4 with 1 interception through the air for 7 yards. They had a team pass. I think that was Martin, 0 of 1. Misnerick, 1 catch, 36 yards. Downing, 1 for 5. Lally, 1 for 2. For passing for Belfry, Seth Mounts, 3 of 6, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Spears had 2 catches for 78 yards. Both touchdowns went to Spears. Bentley, 1 for 12. Tackling-wise, Birchfield, 5 for Belfry. Led them in tackles. Tyrell Love, 6.5 tackles today for the Dragons. So the guys who we thought offensively would stand out for both teams. Hensley had a good day at 78 yards. Martin had 104 for South Oldham. Both tried to establish both running backs, but again, Belfry's depth at running back with the 4 and 5 running backs, maybe 6 at times, just a lot of depth there really, I think, paid off in the end for Belfry Pirates. We had 1 score in the second half. That was by South Oldham, a 55-yard touchdown run by Keaton Martin. Martin also added the 2-point conversion. 2 plays, 57 yards, took 46 seconds. That came with 5:39 in the fourth quarter.
We're being told we got to wrap it up. Being told by producer Pants over here we got to wrap it up so that we can get ready for the next game. But congratulations to Belfry.
Yeah, but you hate to cut off a broadcast with this game unless you tell the whole detail of that game. And it simply was this. Belfry got on top early and then held on for dear life as South Oldham pushed them to the final limits in this one. Again, the final score in your 8th grade division champion for 2015 in the Division II. The Pirates, Belfry High School, or Belfry Middle School, but we'll see a lot of these guys at the high school level in the next few years. They win it 14-8 over South Oldham. Again, a game South Oldham effort for the Dragons today here in Lexington. 1 more to go after this one. This is number 2 coming up. Pikeville against Christian Academy of Louisville. You think that one was good? Check in on that game next here on PrepSpin.com.
So long, everybody.